The commander-in-chief with a warning for Russia.
Ukraine will never be a victory for Russia.
Just days before an invasion anniversary. A big-time show of support.
Your network is your net worth.
For black women working as congressional staffers. Astronauts touching down in Florida.
It's been amazing to watch.
Before blasting off for space. Plus, an early taste of the South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
There's nothing that can compare to it, honestly.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I am Paloma Pimentel.
I'm Amanda Gray. Today is Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023.
Live from the FIU Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
The U.S. taking a strong stance when it comes to defending Ukraine. Today, countries across Eastern Europe are waiting to see Russia's response after President Biden made an unannounced trip to Ukraine and gave a decisive speech in Poland.
The president's speech yesterday echoed NATO's strength and support for Ukraine across the halls of the Royal Castle in Warsaw. He also visited Ukraine on Monday. The speech comes days before the first anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
There should be no doubt. Our support for Ukraine will not waver. NATO will not be divided, and we will not tire.
At this time, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that Russia is suspending its participation in the New START Treaty, the last major nuclear arms control agreement between Russia and the U.S.
The Black Women's Congressional Alliance celebrated Black History Month at FIU DC with many special guests. Reporter Natalie LaRoche from our DC Bureau is in Washington this morning.
In 2018, Keenan Austin Reed was working as Chief of Staff for then Virginia Representative Donald McEachin. She was on her way to grab lunch at the Capitol's cafeteria when some Black women staffers walked by her that she didn't know. She wanted to change that, so some of her friends and herself on the Hill invited them for a happy hour where they could all meet and mingle. Fast forward 5 years, and that was the beginning of the Black Women's Congressional Alliance. BWCA is a network of more than 700 Black women who work in the U.S. House of Representatives and U.S. Senate with a mission to place more Black women in top advisor positions. Friday's event included a chat with White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre and with women who have worked on the Hill, including 2 FIU alumna, Cherilyn Stanberry and Karen Andre.
I hear every day from someone that is a hiring manager on Capitol Hill or someone that's hiring on a campaign or people who are hiring in corporate America, and they want to hire from the Black Women's Congressional Alliance.
The advice from Stanberry, Andre, and Sisha Join Moon included salary negotiation and making meaningful professional connections.
The thing that stuck out to me was when someone said, your network is your net worth. And so really utilizing your network to help you progress to where you want to go, or really using that network to help reach back and bring people forward.
One of the most popular topics of the gathering was the value of representation and helping others move up to achieve change.
You can probably sit me across from anybody and I'm going to be able to connect with you because our differences are what make us the same. And so in a representative body such as the U.S. House of Representatives, making sure there are multiple voices in the room that reflect the full fabric of this country, because we are a beautiful mosaic, I think is critically important.
At the request of event organizers, the chat with Jean-Pierre could not be recorded, but she spoke about the importance of seeing people you relate to and positions you aspire to. She said, quote, "It matters how young people see us and how they can dream through us."
That was Natalie LaRoche reporting. On the Black Women's Congressional Alliance website, it says, "We are challenging the old boys network by building a pipeline of our own." You can read more at blackwomenscongressionalalliance.com.
A multi-vehicle explosion in Miami-Dade left 2 people dead and 3 others injured. More than 20 Miami-Dade fire and rescue units responded to an explosion at a truck dealership in Medley. A spokesperson for the department said there were cars, semi-trucks, and a structure engulfed in flames when crews arrived. The cause of the explosion is still under investigation, and a homicide unit was called in.
Empty nest. Webcam footage in Fort Myers reveals the moment a bald eagle went missing, and for now, the chicks are left with their father. The last time she was seen on camera was February 2nd. Despite facing attacks, the eaglets are doing well, according to the Southwest Florida Eagle Cam webpage. Viewers have been following the eagle named Harriet since 2012, and authorities are working to reunite the family.
Anger this morning as demonstrations begin against a proposal that could allow Florida gun owners to carry concealed firearms without a license. In Tallahassee, student advocates and community members have joined together this week to protest the proposal, which has the backing of key committees in the state, Senate, and House, as well as the support of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. If signed into law, it would allow people to carry firearms without a required permit or training. It also includes school safety proposals for security upgrades. If the proposal gets passed, it could go into effect as nearly as July.
Foodies unite in South Florida for the biggest day on their calendar, and the network's Megan Lichman sets the table for the South Beach Wine and Food Festival.
The South Beach Wine and Food Festival is one of the biggest events of the year, showcasing the talents of wine and spirit producers and culinary experts. With this year, the festival turning 22 years old, FIU students are making final preparations.
We practice since the start of January. That way we're able to exceed expectations across the table.
Every year, over 1,000 students from across different majors volunteer to help run about 3,100 shifts at the festival. With positions ranging from culinary prep to marketing, students become exposed to the hospitality industry and gain professional experience.
And the students get a lot of great networking experience from that. But on top of that too, it's the friendships that they build. So it helps them grow, it helps them mature. Students definitely do enjoy that aspect of it.
On top of volunteering, students have the chance to receive scholarships from the Chaplin School of Hospitality and Tourism Management.
It makes me feel that my work is really taken care of because, many volunteer efforts, especially in the event industry, is unpaid and you don't get acknowledged for your efforts. Especially with this school, you get scholarships in the beginning of the year to encourage you to work, as well as afterwards, a little bit more depending on the event you did and how much more you can make. It really depends.
With many events lined up and a star-studded guest list, student volunteers are eager to help execute one of the nation's premier food and beverage events.
Working with the hustle and bustle and the high pace and seeing everyone enjoying themselves at the event is truly just a great experience, and there's nothing that can compare to it, honestly.
The South Beach Wine and Food Festival returns tomorrow, February 23rd. Get ready for 4 days of eating, drinking, and education. Reporting for the South Florida Media Network, I'm Megan Lichman.
Book lovers and art lovers have a lot to talk about this morning after a biannual event here in Miami. It was over the weekend in the Design District, and the network's Abdul Jabbour covered it all.
South Florida First International Biannual Artists Book Fair arrives to Miami Design District.
This is a multilingual educational event that promotes the conversation around fine art and artist books in South Florida and the Americas.
It's important to connect with other people, to connect with the different multicultural of Miami, and to visibilize the voices of many people.
Tropic Bound aims to provide their visitors the best and most diverse representation in the world of artists, books, and art.
That it shows a lot of smaller artists' work, as well as things that I've never seen before. I've never been to a book fair that you can pick up a book and touch it and play with it, So most of the time they're wrapped, and that makes me annoyed because I just want to see what's inside if I'm going to buy it, and I don't want it to be a surprise later.
These books have been created from household items to magazine full of pictures and illustrations.
As you know, Miami has a lot of art and it has a lot of books. We have the biggest book fair in the country, the Miami International Book Fair, and we're well known for our contemporary art fairs, and this fair will combine both of them, and it's something that Miami has needed for a while. And that book art community you can see growing here. We've got 60 plus exhibitors from all over the country.
Tropic Bound Artist Book Fair is sharing the unique art for the art-loving community, so make sure to check them out and support the local artists. For South Florida Media Network, Abdul Jabbour.
The next space-bound crew of astronauts have arrived in Florida.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
I think it's wonderful. It's actually quite magical seeing all the different kites that are here and all the family fun that's around. It's one of a kind, I'd say. Absolutely.
catching air in Broward County as spirits
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
High as a Kite, an annual festival takes to the skies over Broward County. It was a kite festival at Holiver Park over the weekend.
The network's Emily Cajias is reeling in the details.
Colorful kites and giant show kites fill the sky here in Miami's Holiver Park to celebrate their 31st annual Kite Festival. This windy day brought people of all ages to put their kite skills to the test.
Oh, the festival has been happening for 30 years. And the joy of being out here on these festivals is seeing the other people who don't know how to fly and want to learn to fly.
My favorite kite is the dragon one.
The hundreds of guests had the opportunity to buy from a variety of food trucks and vendors while also admiring the unique kites.
I think it's wonderful. It's actually quite magical seeing all the different kites that are here and all the family fun that's around. It's one of a kind, I'd say. Absolutely.
It's amazing. It's great for families to get out and just enjoy the beautiful Miami weather.
Family, friends, and kite enthusiasts enjoyed this fun-filled day of kites, food, and activities at the biggest kite festival in Florida. Reporting for South Florida Media Network, I'm Emily Cajias.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Amanda Gray.
And I am Paloma Pimentel. Get more news at sfmn.fiu.edu.